Well, I have two goals with this segment. Hello, America. You're watching Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm Frank Moreno. My first goal is to make it through this segment without getting divorced. And my second is to help all of you out there who are incredibly lonely and in need of companionship, romantic companionship specifically. And we have with us one of the country's foremost experts on that subject. She's a matchmaker at Elite Connections, and she is the hostess of a radio show here in New York, which you can listen to all over the country on AM 970 The Answer. Just go to am970theanswer.com, called Heart Match Me. The mistress of the dating world, Eileen
What a way
Fisher.
to be introduced. The mistress?
Well, yes.
Like, seriously? Congratulations on being married.
Thank you, and thank you for one, not crashing my wedding as you threatened to do, and two, still sending a gift.
I did send a gift, exactly.
That was very nice.
Did.
Very
I wanted
generous.
to go with someone, but I was worried to come alone.
My wife likes you better than the 4 or 5 people that attended the wedding but didn't give a gift.
You see, it was all about the money.
It's true. So, Eileen, give us some perspective. Why do you think marriages, and I know you have some experience setting up people that have ended up being married. You've been married yourself. Why do marriages tend not to work out? I'm asking selfishly here, and I'm curious what perspective you can offer.
So I think that, it's funny, on my show this Sunday, I'm having someone who's on their second marriage, so very unlike you. I'm having someone that, has gone through it once and now going through it again. I think the biggest problem we all have is that at a certain age, we all have these goals in our lives. And we think that, at 20, you can't see ahead, all the drama, all the stuff that's happening in your life. So when the bad stuff comes in, either you can make it together or you can't.
I've been telling my wife, I think it takes 2 or 3 marriages to kind of get it right. The first 1 or 2 is more like exhibition games, aren't they?
No, but it is the second one normally, I hate to say, is better because people grow and they get to know each other. However, on the first marriage, and you do say that about his wife, that you marry your best friend. Because at the end of the day, our bodies are going to change and things are going to happen in life. But I say all the time, but if you can still hold that person's hand and be their friend through good and bad and enjoy the time alone, because you're going to have kids and eventually your kids are going to grow up and you have to realize then it's just you two again.
So, Eileen, we have a lot of Wall Street types watching both here in New York and down at that conference in Florida. A lot of them are guys that work 16, 17, 18 hours a day, literally. And I've heard so many complaints from them that say their wives, and maybe even their husbands, depending on their perspective, they end up looking for extramarital companionship because they feel like they're not getting the proper attention from their spouse. Let's say you do have a super demanding job where you don't have time to spend much time at home. How do you make a relationship work in that context?
That's actually a great question, because I always call it, is it really worth that cheat? And if you're going to do it, it really has to be worth it. But the way you make it work is it's going back to the partnership and the team. If you have this crazy day and this crazy business you have, the most important thing, first of all, for a woman is to check in. Make sure how your husband's day is going. Be part of their day. Ask them what it's about. Always be a team. Don't only be about, I took care of the kids today and I did that. It's not what he did and she did. It's doing it together. It's about showing each other that, tell me about your meeting today. Did it go well? And keeping the communication going. And that's really what's key. Listen, if it's really worth, I call it the micro flirting, the micro texting, the one thing of having that hot sex. But the truth is, it's the hottest thing, knowing you have the best thing at home, and you get the little flirt, but having the best thing at home is the sexiest thing ever.
Now, let's say people don't have these 17, 18-hour a day jobs, but they're still looking to meet someone. It seems like these days it's much more difficult to meet someone organically than it is to meet someone through an app. What advice do you have for our viewers who might be looking to be in a relationship? But I have a relative. He just lost his wife after a lengthy battle with cancer, and he's not even sure how to meet someone again. What do you tell people about where to begin?
I always tell people to be out and be open-minded and quit the checklist. My engineer, Yuri, this weekend, every week he hears me saying, just smile and go open-minded. And the way into my show, he met somebody.
Are you kidding?
Yes, true story. And we always talk about it. And I say to him, you have to be open-minded. When you go out to a bar, don't expect only that glass of wine. That's so cliche. Do something different if you're a man. Send over something you hear the person talking about, a shrimp. Don't send over a wine. It is so cliche. But more important, put that damn checklist out and be open-minded, because the greatest thing can happen to your life when you don't expect it.
So if people are looking to hire the services of a matchmaker, they could find you where?
At Eileen at Elite Connections, and then also on my show on Sundays, 5 to 6 on WABC.
No, it's actually 5 to 6 on AM 970, The Answer. And people can listen 5 to 6 Eastern, and people can listen all over the country at am970theanswer.com. WABC is a competing station. She's definitely not on there. All right, Eileen, this has been fun.
Thanks, Frank, and
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you
You're
very
the greatest
much.
thing ever.
When we come back after a brief break, we're going to check in with independent journalist Michael Tracy. We'll get his take on the debate last night and what's happening with Syria and Ukraine Gate. You're watching Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm Frank Moreno.